welcome back to Disrespectfully. We've had a few DMs this week and people want to know, who are we? So, Alfie, who are you?
Who are we? What they watch us?
What do we
every
do?
week.
Who are we and what do we do?
Who are we and what do we do?
Who are you and why are you here is more my question.
I'm just allowed to be here. So
He's out on day release and you can read into that what you like.
I'm allowed to be here. What I do, quite literally, is just press a few buttons, chop a few voices up, add stickers to videos and stuff. Like if we're doing really dumb stuff. Then.
A little aside here, he presses my buttons quite regularly.
Yeah.
So I don't believe that.
What do I do apart from mothering some fantastic people in my life? I put things together that will entertain and amuse people, I hope, in the hairdressing industry so that they can look at them.
Ooh.
Very good.
And I speak to people and sometimes I record it, sometimes I write it down.
Sometimes you put it online.
Yes,
That's
when I write it down.
Yes. Yeah. Or you could say like you wield like metal shears and cut.
There was a time in my life where I
exactly.
used metal to chop hair.
Yeah.
And now you use hot things to make lovely updos.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, very good.
So that's the tools of the trade. If you're none the wiser, then welcome to my club. Back to business.
Right, back to business. Any interesting shit that we've done? to put it bluntly, you know.
Interesting in a good way or a weird way? Yeah, I've done loads of things actually.
Yeah, how was Milan?
Milan was gorgeous, grazie, bella mia. It was fast. Yeah, so arrived on a plane at lunchtime and left on a plane the next day, but had a lovely time courtesy of Joico. So joined the Joico 50 Fest, which was great because as I am just 50, was perfect timing. So yeah, it was celebrating their 50th anniversary and they did a mega show. So we were in our evening where by 2:15 in the afternoon eating canapes and toasting with bubbles. So yeah, it's a long time since I've been drinking that early in the day. Not since my children grew up anyway. So yeah, big show, lots of people there from all over Europe and a few from Canada and South America as well. Like it was like 8 shows they did. Hairdressers were doing a show focused on each decade that the brand's been going. So it's really cool. Some I knew, some I didn't. The big heroes in terms of the stage show were Richard Manor, who'd come over from the States. So it's nice to see him do a show. And Bruno, Mark, and the team from Mark Anthony and Dan Spiller and some lovely friends there. And then there was lots of other people that I bumped into, Malcolm Lacey and his wife.
Oh, yeah.
Trisha Buller, haven't seen for years. She has a salon in Berkeley. Yeah, she's really a fantastic trichologist. Paul Watts, who's one of our lovely colour genies from over the years. He was there talking about YouTube. So yeah, it was really fun.
Oh, and also a big one finalist as well.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah,
yes, this year, that's right. So that was fun. There was lots of partying. I got the first cab home. So I was back in my room by 10 p.m. The
How sensible.
I know.
Boring. We're about to Nigel Farage. Boring.
I know. But the next morning I was gleeful.
Well, while she was away, actually, I did learn that Alfie likes to do washing.
Alfie likes to do washing?
Yeah, that's what he told us while she was in Milan.
No.
I was really fascinated.
What? Like every time you phoned him, he was too busy washing?
He likes to do his own washing.
No, we were told, like, obviously on Monday we had the team meeting and you weren't here and you and... I just said my parents have been away an awful lot the last month and I've just been on my own, which is fine. I don't really mind it, but I just said that I hate, for me, every day of the week, I would much rather like wash and do a task and put the bins out, whatever, than like cook. Like for me, cooking is like zero. That I drafted my missus to come and do that for me, but like I love washing and I love hanging up and I love folding and stuff like that. That's just
the folding.
Yeah,
I think it's very
raised a
therapeutic.
child that actually is quite so feudal in his outlook. I don't know. He likes doing his own washing, and I like doing my own washing. So we're all kind of like fighting to get the washing done.
Yeah,
first.
I think the washing machine's on like 2 or 3 times a day. Like it's nuts. Yeah.
Well, after that sensible conversation,
Yeah.
I went to Weather Trend Vision, which was at the Natural History Museum, which is
Ooh.
really cool,
Oh,
actually.
very cool.
I don't know how you kind
A
of...
night at the museum.
It was a night at the museum. I don't know. Dinosaurs came to life.
Yeah.
Were there any dinosaurs sitting at the tables, Ellie?
I did joke to my mum and dad and say, "Oh, it's like having dinner with you." But no, it was
They usually
really cool.
have some really good shows there. Who did the
Yeah,
shows?
they had so it was 3 shows. The first one was Salons, which was Still Salon, Hob and Sassoon. Then they had the Sebastian art team did a show, and then they had a creative show, which was James Earnshaw, Michelle Thompson, and Callum Tierney. If I said that
Wow.
right.
Nice.
But yeah, no, they were really good shows, actually. They were I think because the hair was it was like, well, I say wearable, but like wearable hair on steroids.
Yeah.
It was,
Okay, got it, yeah.
Yeah, ramped
it
up
was,
for the
yeah,
stage.
yeah, it was,
I
it
think
was
it's
really
the thing,
good.
isn't it? You know, when you're doing shows, you have to be, it's not just about putting some great hair on stage. You have to think about the story and you think about
Yeah.
the audience. So, for example, in Italy, they had such a multicultural, people flown in from loads of different countries, that to try and create a show that was going to entertain everybody, which didn't matter if you couldn't speak English or Italian, that was going to translate to a massive room, 1,000 people there, that then is going to be screened. You know, there's quite an art to that, to keeping
Yeah,
people
that's
engaged. But then equally, it has to be, you know, if you want hair that's like relatable, but it's got to look good in the
Yeah.
photographs and the
Yeah.
film.
And
you know.
what's a trend in like one country or to one culture could
Yeah.
be completely different to
Yeah,
another.
That's very true.
Yeah,
So when you're going like to like a global event like
Mm.
your one, that's quite tricky, I think.
Yeah, but that was cool. And then the Tony and Guy main stage is usually pretty impressive.
Yeah, that was pretty good actually. It was in Charing Cross, and I've actually like the venue's really cool. I've been to the venue a couple of times for
It's the Outer Net,
leisure.
I think. It's like a
yeah,
big nightclub.
yeah.
It's
sort of
where
like
the
underground. So.
Day Fever dance-a-thon
Oh, is it really?
is
Oh.
held. So
Oh,
yeah,
right, yeah,
put that in your
fine.
diaries. That is
Fine.
my tip for a
Got
fun
you.
Saturday. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was hosted by Sasha Mascolo Tarbuk.
Yeah, that's her married name. Yeah.
And Kossakas, who also did the big one last year, I believe.
So no,
Or-
Kos is like the creative Uber
Yeah, he's a
creative director
yeah,
for that
director.
entire
Yeah.
brand. So he's
Fine.
amazing and been
Yeah.
with them for a long time. And then Sasha is Sasha Mascolo from Tony.
Yes,
And Guy.
I was going to say, which is really cool. So they sort of hosted it, and gave out awards throughout the night, and they also their new range, I think it's called Edition 1, or it's called Edition 1. That's out, I think, in 2026. So that was really cool, and people like Effie Davis and sort of the artists all came out with their models and.
So
and
what
stuff
they
like
do
that,
is, so Tony and Guy does fantastic collections. They've just got a heritage of just
Yeah.
doing amazing photo shoots over the years. So if you're not familiar with that, that's where they come from. And then the main stage is where they literally bring the collections to life.
Yeah.
And I always find it fascinating how what you see in the photographs, especially now in this
Yeah.
era of AI and retouching,
Mm.
actually they can do it. You
Yeah.
really see, quite often it's the same girls. And
Yeah.
it's really
I
incredible.
was going to say, I think it was kind of the same, like 10 to 12 models like coming out, and yeah, I mean it was like completely different looks, and it was like men and women as well. It was pretty
It's
good.
very slick,
Yeah.
very
good.
slick. That's
Yeah.
worth
And
Googling.
if you missed that, you can buy tickets to Hairpieces where you will see them do it again.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
true.
Not the entire main stage, you understand. I just want to stand for it. They will do a section, but yes, our hairpieces shows on sale.
But I was very well behaved. I think I went home like before 10, which is I was feeling very granddad.
So I had the latest night this week.
Yeah, which is pretty
Yeah,
nuts. I
you
think,
did.
Yeah.
Any
Well,
X to
I
share
was
this
I was
week?
got I got a question. Was if someone says what's your like most iconic like hairstyles within like films, you know, like I instantly go to like, you know, the Audrey Hepburn Breakfast Club, like not the craziest most like hard hairstyle to do, but I feel like it's like classic as anything. Or I don't know. Or for me, I always think of like Princess Leia, like with this sort of like, French braid,
yeah,
but, like
yeah.
twisted up, and it was
Yeah.
like, and I remember that was really like unique. I never really saw that.
Jessica Rabbit
Mm,
with
the Hollywood way.
which was
Yeah.
interesting because she was a cartoon, right?
Yeah,
Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know where you're going with that, but yeah.
No, but it was the big
Yeah,
Well,
but I just thought, like, is in what do you think is the most iconic? Because even
Marilyn Monroe. Over the,
Yeah.
I would
That's
say, I
probably
bet
way
you,
up there, isn't it?
if we were playing 100 to 1 or whatever that TV show is, And it's like, what was
yeah.
the most common answer given? If
Oh,
you stopped
you
100
think-
people in the street and
yeah,
said,
Yeah,
"What's the most-"
yeah.
Oh, well, I would have put Breakfast Club up there as well, just because of that silhouette, you know, like her with the cigarette and sort of. I guess it's like a small bee. It's not really a beehive, is it? It's sort of like
I don't know. I suppose it's a bit of an age and stage thing.
that's
Although I
yeah,
think,
but that's
Yeah.
so iconic.
I think and Marilyn Monroe, I'm sure would
Yeah.
be up there.
I was also for me also I think more recent, but I don't know if you've seen like especially for like black and afro hair is like Black Panther, which is
Oh,
the
yeah.
new, it's like a couple years ago, but just even I don't know, like is in it was sort of more like showing you know like the styles of black and afro and made it look really cool, and obviously they're like superhero-esque and
Yeah.
you know, with lots of like braids and dreads and stuff like that.
Well, it's really influential. And do you think, I mean, now that the difference between TV and film is a bit blurred because things are made for Netflix
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
on. So Peaky Blinders now is a real one.
Yeah.
I know that's a TV
That's quite
show,
a
not a
period piece,
film.
though. I figure it's iconic because it's of that time, isn't it? Like the real high
Yeah.
fade and yeah.
Well, it's historically correct, I
Yeah,
believe.
well, yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
watched Cillian Murphy talking to Graham Norton the other day
Mm.
about where that had come from, and he was saying how he really hates the way it's been translated. He feels into that one that the boys have now, the fade, and then all the hair, but then it's like comes forward, in
Oh,
the
Yeah,
beard,
yeah.
which is a real thing. which
I
is-
also it's a weird one because I feel like Friends, it's obviously set in a real casual
Oh, yeah.
setting, and their hair, you know, is like everyday hair. But
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
god, the amount of friends or people that like, oh, I want like the
Oh,
Joey
it's the
hair,
Jennifer
or the,
Aniston,
or the
yeah.
Rachel hair, and you look at it and it's like that's you know, it's like so normal and maybe borderline boring because it's sort of everyday hair, but obviously it's like really iconic.
Slayers.
Do you
Yeah.
know, it's really
I think it's, like,
interesting.
really cultural,
This was
you know?
also came up in a conversation the other day about how much of an ick is it for hairdressers that client, or not an ick, but an
But like people
annoyance.
come in and I want this
come
or
in
I want that.
with a picture of
yeah.
a famous person,
Yeah.
and they want that.
Yeah.
So I think it was Bruno was telling me, Bruno from Mark Anthony was saying he now has a little bit of black tape, and because people are showing it to you on your
Yeah,
phone,
yeah.
he puts the black tape over the face and
Oh,
says,
okay.
"Now do you want that haircut?"
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
To
Fine.
try and
'Cause you-
understand whether
Yeah,
it's the
because it's-
face.
yeah.
She's insanely beautiful.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
not.
Yeah. No, I'm
you.
sure over the years I've been guilty of that. It's like, and it's when that sort of, it's like the mechanic that looks at the car and says, you know, the big end's gone or whatever.
Yeah.
It's that hairdresser's sort of intake of breath and like, well, tell me what it is you actually do like about that picture.
Yeah,
They're trying to
yeah.
make you
or
like
it's
think of you.
saying,
Yeah, yeah.
actually, it's pretty much what you've got now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, the
Very
big
true.
chat at the moment, isn't it, is Kim Kardashian is walking around Paris with allegedly a pixie
With Kris
haircut,
Jenner's hair.
really, really short.
Oh, like a
haircut.
blonde.
So it's that
pixie
whole,
cut,
is
yeah.
it or isn't it actually cut?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my ick currently, and don't edit this out, Alfie, my ick currently is people staging things to look like they're authentic and they're not, right? So I know where you think I'm going, Ellie. I'm not going to do that. But so there's a big trend on Instagram where people are posed as if they're thinking or gazing at something, and then it's like the writing's telling you what they're thinking, but they've clearly sat there and thought all that,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and now they're staging themselves thinking about it.
It's when they do those, I don't know what they call, like the stitches on TikTok, where
Yeah.
they film their reaction to something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you've obviously watched that in order to press the stitch button
Yeah.
to record yourself. And they're like, oh my God.
Well, I don't. Yeah, so there's that play acting, which I find really, really stressful.
Mm.
And some people can do it better than others. So like the whole Taylor Swift proposal, it's like that proposal
Oh,
picture
yeah.
is like so staged. She did claim, also on Graham Norton, which I watched the other day, that it wasn't staged. That
Why
her-
would it? Why do you think it would be staged?
Yeah,
though?
why? Yeah.
Because the camera is like there
But-
while she's standing in the garden being proposed to.
No.
Yeah, but he sets it up.
Yeah, I was going
No,
to
I
say
know. Well, that's what I thought it was staged.
No,
so my
100%
bad.
it's not
Yeah,
staged. No,
yeah.
that's you. That's you being a bit old and set in your ways. In my opinion.
Well, maybe a lot of other things that I think are staged aren't staged. Maybe that's going to spoil my
No,
enjoyment
but
of
if you think
staging.
about it, like obviously photographers would either be hiding around the corner or hiding in the bushes, and
Yeah.
then he goes down on one knee and they see that, and then they come out and
I've
do
had
it.
friends who have had proposals like that.
Yeah,
Really?
I
Annoyingly,
don't think
mine
it's
wasn't,
staged.
but-
No way it's staged. Yeah.
I told your dad to propose to me.
Well, yeah, that's.
I'm like,
I think
let's
that's
go for a
why
walk and
you're
do it
here.
now.
Yeah,
Mine was a bit of a threat as
yeah.
well, to be fair.
Mine was, I got my dad to actually have a word with him.
Yeah.
So
Fair
he
enough.
took him on one side and said, I think Nicky's getting a bit impatient.
No,
Oh, get the phone. Grishma. Everything stops for Karishma.
Yo, what's up?
Hi, Alfie.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Were you just finishing breakfast, lunch, or dinner just then? Sorry, called you earlier.
I just finished my lunch.
Oh, okay. Fair enough then. Cool. I've just called you for the word of the week, as always. And you actually haven't deliberated with me this week. So I think it's all three of us learning what the word of the week is. So very exciting.
Okay, so the word of the week is touch grass.
Touch grass. Can you use that in a sentence, please, for the older members of the crew?
Let me think.
You'd have to think about it. I know what it means.
You know what touch grass means?
I actually did tell Karishma to put that word.
Oh, did you?
And it's
I was trying to be secretive, Nicky.
Oh, okay.
no. I'm
right.
outing myself. It's
Oh, okay. Well, then
It's me.
maybe
All right,
maybe
let's
you
have a
can
little
explain. Yeah,
conversation.
that's fine.
All right,
Okay,
thank you,
awesome.
darling.
Cool. Thank you, Karishma. We'll speak to you later.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. I know what it means too. How on earth
Oh.
do
Do
you
you
know
actually know what it
touch
means?
grass means?
Do
Yeah.
you?
Yeah,
Go on
I
then.
do.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
don't. Can you
All
use it in a
right.
sentence for me?
Okay, so it's like you just need to be able to touch grass.
Is that real?
Be grounded.
Alfie definitely needs to be able to touch grass.
I think is it really? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fine.
So it's not
like
alluding.
chronically online, isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
you need
it's
to go
not
and
alluding
touch
to a
grass.
drug habit. It's you need to be able to like put your phone down, walk away, and touch grass. Like sit down in the grass, enjoy the sunshine, enjoy
Oh.
just like
It's
enjoy
like if you're
life.
chronically on TikTok or on Twitter, and like say if you're like arguing with someone, and they'll go like, just go away and touch grass. Like get outside, like you're
Get
too
real. It
online.
means really.
Yeah.
I suppose it's alluding to that whole like you don't need to be surrounded by electronic devices and that kind of thing. So the current king of touch grass is Ed Sheeran because he's now been famously explained as not having a mobile phone for quite some time, and hence the story about how Taylor Swift didn't tell him she was engaged to somebody else. Did they actually date, Ed and Taylor? I feel like they did.
They definitely didn't. Definitely did.
Who did he have that one night?
No. Ellie Golden cheated on him.
Oh,
with,
Ellie Goulding. That's right.
Ellie Golden cheated on him
I
with.
got the blondes confused there for a minute.
Yeah.
Sorry, blondes.
She cheated on him with, I think, Niall Horan from One Direction, and he wrote a song about it, which
That's
is quite
right,
big.
he did. That's right.
But then Niall and Ed, I think, are quite good mates. So I don't know if it was like just a fling between him and Ellie
I'm
Goulding.
sure.
Like,
There's a few, aren't
Or
there?
a
Serial
stunt.
daters.
yeah.
Kendall Jenner, Harry Styles,
Mm.
Taylor Swift's had quite a few boyfriends, and Jennifer Aniston.
Serial date is a bit harsh. Like, I don't know about a serial dater. That's like, is in just say it how it is. Yeah, they've probably shagged around and they've probably shagged a load of other celebrities, but I don't know about
Stars
that.
shag.
But like,
Maybe they
Taylor
bonk.
Swift.
They have a
They bonk.
special
Do you know what
dating app,
bonking
don't
means,
they?
Alfie?
Taylor Swift, yes.
Well, we just when I was your age,
Oh
we used
my
to talk
God.
about bonking people. Have you bonked yet?
What was episode 1? Oh, a shag and a mullet. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The shag
yeah.
and a mullet. Yeah. I actually do find it fascinating, especially with obviously a lot of hairdressers now are quite proud, or they show online the fact that they use AI and like, oh my,
Yeah.
we've had people talk at the lab about using AI for your salon and stuff. Man, I find it fascinating that people just sit there and talk to AI or GBT or whatever all day every day, and are just becoming lazy slobs. Like, as in they're just not actually doing any work, or like for me it's so obvious when someone's replied to your email or even
Yeah,
text with
yeah.
AI, and it's
Yeah.
like, Christ, you think you're so smart, like using AI, and it's so obviously not you. And then even it's great for organizing stuff and like giving you meeting notes and condensing stuff down and whatever. Like Gmail now uses one called Gemini, where if you've got an email chain of 20 emails that you're applying to, it'll have the top an overview of in 5 bullet points what in 20
What's
emails,
happening. Oh, that's
which,
clever.
which is actually quite good, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
people talk to AI and like prompt it to like make a whole, essentially coding. But I think, you sad bastards, you're sitting there all day talking to AI, and it's like, doesn't make you any
Yeah.
more,
Yeah, I think
it's crazy.
I think I'm coming round to understanding the uses. I can spot hairdressers. I can spot a Chat GPT email a mile off.
Yeah.
Having said that, I don't necessarily mind that if it's helped somebody to get their thoughts together, and especially if you're not somebody who maybe dyslexic, I don't mind. So I actually don't mind getting an email or a message that is AI, ChatGPT or whatever you call it, Instagram hand captions and so on. But you just got to be really careful because it goes back to where we've been talking, the whole thing about authenticity and what's real.
For sure.
Is that don't confuse that with being real.
Yeah.
It isn't how we speak.
Yeah.
So I think that use it, but use it carefully. And it's like, making up pictures. I think people are using it to do mood boards and stuff. And I'm sure it can be really helpful, but don't confuse that with skill.
Yeah.
So I had this quote the other day, which I thought was really interesting. AI has meant that standard is the norm. So now you have to be better than standard.
Yeah.
So it's not dumbing us down. It's just changing the levels. So now you've got to be better than.
Yeah.
To get somewhere. So I think there's, but at the end of the day, it's like you can put a filter on this and make us all look different. It doesn't mean we are. It doesn't mean you're going to recognise me walking down the street if I was suddenly looking like Kris Jenner.
Yeah.
Unreal.
I
feel like you need to go and get a facelift or Botox. You're quite obsessed with the Kardashians these days. No. But as in you mentioned them like
cross them off the Christmas card list.
No. But you've mentioned them like a lot of times. I don't know. Like are they like icons for you, or like you like
Wow, that is savage.
No. I didn't say it like you needed one.
The words that left your mouth were you need to go and get Botox or a facelift.
No. I said
He's not
I
even
feel
blushing.
like
He's not even gone red.
I said I feel like you need you're needing to go and get one. The amount of that you're talking about them.
Producer, have you got a shovel to bring over for Alfie to dig his bigger hole?
No, it's not.
No, I don't want to have a facelift, thank you, and I don't want to have any Botox. Why do I always feel like I've just done a 97-minute intense documentary after speaking to you two? It's supposed to be light relief, this. Okay.
Cool. All right. Anything else you want to say to us?
No, I've had enough now.
Okay.
That's it. I'm done. I think that's it. See you next time.
Awesome. Yeah, see you next time.
See you
Enjoy.
next time.
Bye. Always a pleasure, never a chore.
How do we say goodbye now as well? I've done the old that. I need to
we do.
think of
Keep it real,
something else.
guys.
Yeah.
Keep it real.
Yeah. Terrible.